I mean, we could never compete with that, really, could we? We will have to next season, though. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some more Chelsea Challenge here on the channel with me, Mr. Grand 2. We are on the cusp of qualifying for the Champions League here in this penultimate episode of the season. We're in third place. We've got 3 games in hand. It's not going to be a triple game special, hopefully. Hopefully, there won't be a need of it, because we do only need 1 point. And if we beat Manchester City, who are the only team that can catch us today in the first match, then, well, that will be that. If not, we do have Burnley and Stoke City to play, although Burnley are sort of mid-table and Stoke are fighting for their lives in a relegation battle, so could be a potential banana skin there, but hopefully it won't matter. Hopefully we won't need it. We just need to get, I think I said beat them. We need to get a point at City, and then we will be safely into the Champions League next season. And then, of course, we can turn our attention to the Champions League final against Real Madrid and to the summer. We need to do a bit of a squad improvement, not necessarily a full rebuilding job, but definitely some improvements. I think the Mazzala role is definitely something I want to improve. Neither Mason Mount nor Ruben Loftus-Cheek are particularly outstanding. We need some better coverage on the wings, I think, and centre back as well. We can definitely get a sort of someone a bit more stable and secure in there to help us really push on next season for a title bid. So since last time, then, the win against AC Milan, just 1 match played. It was a comfortable 2-0 win against already relegated Blackburn Rovers. Marco Asensio and Tammy Abraham getting the goals, which is what I expected at the start of the season. Asensio he's settled in a bit, and maybe he's learned English now. He knows his teammates. He knows where the canteen is, where the toilet is, things like that. He's settled in a bit more, and he's certainly playing a lot better towards the end of the season than at the start. Still not a very impressive goal or assist or average rating return from him, but there's always next year. So the average ratings really do tell the story of how the season's gone. I mean, pretty good defensively. I want to get a better defender in, but it's this attacking area here. Not the striker. Tammy Abraham's been sensational, but the wingers and the attacking midfielder, kind of this area of the pitch. That's where we've been a bit lacking. So that's where the improvement's going to come in the summer. But anyway, let's get ourselves Champions League football fully secured. Kepa in goal, Emerson, Tomori, Rudiger and James at the back, Jorginho, Kante, Mount, Asensio and Pulisic, and Tammy Abraham, of course, up front. Very defensive formation from City there. I think if we beat them today, then that's a real hammer blow to their Champions League chances. They should easily qualify for the Europa League, but they're not guaranteed to qualify for the Champions League with some of the other teams around them. So, yeah, is interesting. Aguero and Dembele up front. They've got Sandro Tonali, who's an absolute monster on the game this year, particularly in this save. Rugani in there. I mean, it's a strong team, but so are we. We need to pick up where we left off, and we need to see this one out. A point is all we need. I'd like to get all 3. So here we go. Starting things off at 10 minutes in. Nothing's really happened so far. I'd like to win this game. We do only need a point, though, from our last 3 games, as said. So if we do lose, it's not the end of the world. Christian Pulisic does not want to lose, though. Fierce shot from him. And then it's really between West Ham and Manchester City for the final Champions League spot. Everton in there as well, actually. Really, really close from them. We wouldn't expect West Ham and Everton to be right up there, but they are. 20 minutes gone. We're looking for the breakthrough here. It's come to Marco Asensio. Emerson in loads of space, as he often is. Finds the ball across. It's bounced down to N'Golo Kante, who fires it home in fantastic style. His goal return this season has improved quite a lot. 8th of the season from the Frenchman. Emerson completely unmarked, really. Shouldn't be allowed that much room. He's always going to find a good ball into the box. It finds its way to N'Golo Kante, and that is a goal of the season contender right there into the top corner. Edison could do nothing, goes for the forward roll as well, and we are on our way to the Champions League. Emerson again on the left-hand side, playing it around with Jorginho. These two have been our standout players again this season, as well as Tammy Abraham, and it's another assist for Emerson to Christian Pulisic at the far post, completely unmarked. Once again, City not all at sea. There's still plenty of the game to go, but yeah, I'm just completely unchecked. 2 defenders there, one of which I assume is John Stones, not having a clue what's happening around him. I mean, they're playing a back 3, but they're playing Laporte in the middle, despite the fact that he's left-footed, and John Stones, who is right-footed, is on the left-hand side, which makes sense to whoever's managing them, I'm sure. Second half then, Mason Mount with a corner in, and, not his best effort, but it's kept alive. Asensio's there, and it's been bundled in by that man again. You know him. You love him. Tammy Abraham, 38 goals this season. We've still got 3 games left after this. I mean, this is like Messi level territory. Mount just glides across the floor like he's on roller skates. The defence, they don't know what's happening. Tammy's there to put it away. 3-0. It's not over yet. Reece James with the free kick in. This is a real morale booster. Not that our morale's particularly low. I mean, we've got a Champions League final coming up in a few weeks, but this is definitely the kind of performance we've been lacking against some of the top sides this season. Well, Reece James picks it up in loads of space. Easy ball out to Asensio. Lovely ball laid off to Mount. Pulisic. James gets it back. Runs round the outside. Cuts in though. And, well, it's been cut out. And I was thinking that was going to be a lovely move. It's not a lovely move. It's going to be a good chance for Man City, but Kepa is there with an easy save from Moussa Dembele. City come forwards again though. Angelino knocks it on, but he's giving it away to Marco Asensio, who finds Emerson, his partner in crime, on the left-hand side. Emerson puts the ball across to Kante. It's bounced down. Come all the way back to Rudiger though. And the chance is not over yet. Reece James now in loads of space to Kante, to Jorginho. Working it really, really, really nicely. We are in, well, celebratory mood, it seems. It's come down to Emerson, who's been fouled, and it's going to be a penalty. It is a penalty. Tammy Abraham to step up, and it's saved by Edison, which isn't ideal. I would have liked him to get that one away. He's so reliable with penalties normally, but not on that occasion. But you can't score them all. We do score that one though. Marco Asensio from the resultant corner, from the penalty save, puts away. I said that he has improved his form recently, and that is certainly continuing it. Scramble around in the box, ball in from Kante, and Asensio is there to fire home. If 1A doesn't get you, the other one will. 4-0, looking incredibly good here. Angelino with a free kick from Manchester City. It's come down to Sergio Aguero. He's going backwards though. Dionku on the right-hand side there, right back, and he's been dispossessed cleanly by Tomori, who's got a ball away. Everyone was expecting a foul. It's not happened. Abraham pings it up to Kante. 5-0. I mean, that is the definition of a counter-attack. Absolutely brilliant. City were looking for a free kick or even a penalty. I'm not quite sure whether it was in the box or not, but it was a good tackle from Tomori, who just immediately played it down to Abraham. Brilliant awareness from those two. Kante on the volley. Another fantastic strike from him. What an absolute rout here. It's a shame we've had some of the sort of sloppy results, sloppy draws earlier on in the season. We haven't really lost many games this season, but just the sort of sloppy, point-wasting draws that have cost us. Because when we play like this, we are absolutely sensational. This doesn't quite spell the end of Man City's Champions League ambitions. They are 2 points behind West Ham, but they have got a game in hand. But Everton are right in there as well, so any slip up from City and they will be in danger of not qualifying for the Champions League for the second year running. Right, Emerson on the left-hand side. Can we make it 6? That would be lovely. He's been robbed by Tonali, looking for Gabriel Jesus, not Tomori's best efforts. Jesus holds it up, and Aguero puts it over. Well, we don't get 6, but I mean, what can you say about that? Chelsea 5, Manchester City 0. We seal Champions League qualification in style. What a fantastic performance. Really good from everybody. That is exactly what you want to see. We're in the Champions League next season. What budget have we got? £213 million to spend from Roman Abramovich. Thank you very much, Roman. Spare wage budget of $338,000. That'll do me nicely. Tammy wants a new contract. I mean, how can you argue with him? He's 23 years old. He's an academy graduate. And he's scored, 27 goals in the league. 38 goals overall. I mean, that's Ballon d'Or level. That's Ballon d'Or level. We're going to have to give him a new contract. Well, there we are then. The other two games are kind of dead rubbers, really, as far as we're concerned. We can't catch Arsenal, and we can't be caught by West Ham. So, therefore, I think what we'll do is I'll bring you the goals, any fun moments, just as sort of like an end-of-season show-reel type thing. We'll look at any end-of-season stuff that comes up before the Champions League final, and then that'll be what we focus on next time. £205,000 a week is what Tammy wants. A lot of bonuses as well, but, I mean, he's deserved it. You can't argue with this. Look at his star rating. Not a single con. And he's an academy graduate. And he's 23. Absolutely thrilling stuff here at Turf Moor. It's the 49th minute. And this is the second highlight of the game. It is a goal for us, though. Playing a fully rotated side. Torgan Hazard sliding in from a Ruben Loftus-Cheek pass to give us the lead here. Interestingly, Man City and Man United are playing. City need to win that game. They want to qualify for the Champions League. 2-1 at the moment. And we are 2-0 to the good. Corner in from Aaron Martin, and Erling Haaland is there with a poacher's finish to fire it away. He's 11th of the season, which is not bad for a man who has been behind Tammy Abraham in the pecking order. And it ended 2-0. We did give a debut to Archie Shaw, given his first taste of first team football late on in the second half. And interestingly, while that was happening, Manchester City were playing Manchester United, their game in hand, and it was a 2-2 draw, which leaves City still there. They've got a better goal difference than Everton, but if either West Ham or Everton get points in their final match of the season, City will not be in the Champions League. And so we come to the final game of the season at Stoke City, and well, they're fighting for their lives. They need to beat us if they want to avoid the drop. So we are going to go full strength because we don't want to give them any favours, but mainly because the Champions League final is not for 2 weeks, and if these guys haven't played any football in that time, having been rested against Burnley, then they're not going to be 100% match sharp, and I would like them to be. So hopefully we can avoid any silly injuries in this one. It is the same team that played against Manchester City. Let's see if we can end the season in style and relegate Stoke in the process. Apologies to any Stoke fans watching. We will, of course, keep an eye on the race for the final Champions League spot. City need to win. They're drawing with already relegated Blackburn at the moment, and well, they need to win that one. Otherwise, it'll be Everton and West Ham fighting it out. Really, I mean, even if Everton and West Ham, if one of them gets a point, that's it. They will qualify instead. Well, we're absolutely dominating this one. Chances are plenty. No breakthrough yet, but Man City look like they're going to squeak into the Champions League. Everton and West Ham are both losing to Arsenal and Manchester United respectively. I didn't see how difficult a game they both had, and City are beating Blackburn, so it looks like Manchester City are going to save themselves on the final day of the season. Well, Stoke have been very good defensively. They've offered a little bit on the counter as well. I thought it was going to be a 0-0 draw, but not in the end. 91st minute winner. Asensio went for the shot. It came to Kante, who fired home his 10th of the season. This one's done. Bye-bye, Stoke. We are ending the season in style. I mean, as much as a 1-0 win away at Stoke can be considered style, Jody Morris clearly doesn't think it is. So there we are then. Everton lose, Man City win, West Ham, through 2 Adam Lallana goals, equalise late on against Manchester United, but it's not enough. They were too far behind. And as we can see from the table, Manchester City squeak into the Champions League places. Everton will have to settle for the Europa League. West Ham will probably join them, but I think it depends on the results of the European finals. In fact, who is actually in the Europa League final? Obviously, we're in the Champions League final. That's not going to affect anything. But the Europa League final is a Manchester affair. City versus United. So Manchester United, who have had a shocking season in the league, finished in 11th place, could still backdoor it into the Champions League if they win the Europa League. If they fail to do so, then West Ham will be taking a Europa League spot. I'm not sure who's getting the Euro Cup 2 spot. That's not come up yet. Or indeed if anyone will. That may end up being West Ham, actually. Maybe even Bournemouth. I'm not quite sure how that works. But if we look at the rest of the table, then obviously Liverpool ran away with it, 100 points. Although they did lose on the final game of the season to Southampton, which is slightly funny. Brilliant seasons from Everton and West Ham nevertheless, and Bournemouth as well. United, as we said, having a shocking time of it. Spurs as well, down in 9th. They will not be in Europe next season. And Wolves, who at the start of the year were having an absolutely incredible time of it. They were up in 2nd. They were sort of level on points with Liverpool at the start of things, right up there. And then they hit a brick wall. They lost to Spurs match day 22 in January, and then have fallen like an absolute stone. Bit of a recovery, but ended up finishing in 10th place. Nuno Espirito Santo has actually been sacked as Wolves manager. It was just a shocking collapse from them after they looked so good. West Brom and Norwich surviving once again, and Palace, Stoke of course, and Blackburn Rovers go down. Crystal Palace, bit of a big shock there, but Leicester, Newcastle and Watford teetering on the brink. Leicester are having a shocking time of it in this save as well, compared to real life. Well, unsurprisingly, Tammy Abraham wins a very, very deserved Golden Boot. 27 goals for him this season, 3 clear of Paulo Dybala and 10 clear of Callum Wilson. Absolutely sensational. We've signed his new contract. What a player he has been for us. That is unquestionable. He has been the absolute star of this save as far as I'm concerned. Alisson wins Gold Glove. Kepa didn't have as good a season as last year. He was brilliant for us last year. Still really, really good. Gets 2nd place behind Alisson, but no real shame in that. Team of the year, Tammy's in there. I don't think he wasn't in it last year. We had way more players in it last year, but Liverpool, of course, as you would expect, dominating. Tammy, the sole representative from us. So there we are then. We've won the League Cup. We've finished 3rd in the Premier League. We didn't do very well in the FA Cup at all, and we've reached the final of the Champions League. I'm having a pretty big case of deja vu from last season. Let's hope that the end result will be the same as it was last year. Join me next time, if you can, with the Champions League final against Real Madrid. Can we win that competition for the second season in a row? A bit concerned about the fact that the board are not happy with our challenge for the Premier League. We weren't that far away in the end, just 15 points. What's the club vision looking like? B minus. Okay, so that's not awful, but we have apparently failed to challenge for the Premier League. So hopefully, if we win the Champions League, or even if we don't, we won't be sacked. We are still secure, apparently, secure job security, which is what you need. I don't really want to get sacked. That would be very nice. But anyway, Champions League final next time. No mean feat whatsoever, but we said that last time against Liverpool, and we know how that one ended. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this season so far. One more game to go. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that Champions League final, and I'll see you next time.